Many people that I speak to who are wanting to create a true property investment business, so not a job where you're putting in loads of hours and you're getting paid for those hours, but as soon as you stop, your business stops growing, which is what many people have in property. They've got investments that will bring in income forevermore, but their business only grows, they only source more investments and they only buy more investments when they stop working. Many investors have that philosophy. And in this episode, I want to talk to you about you creating a true property investment business. And it starts with one thing. It starts with team. You need to employ team in your property investment business. Now, some of you will think that that's a crazy idea. You might only have 1, 2, 3 buy-to-lets and they're bringing you in a few £100, maybe £500 profit per month. And you think, I can't possibly employ someone. I've not even replaced my own income yet. But here's the thing. Many of my clients have brought on their first member of team before they can truly afford to pay that person. In fact, if you listen to Brad Sugars, founder of Action Coach, he talks about employing someone when you can afford 40% of their salary. And what my clients have done when they've brought someone on is they've realized that actually that person helps them to buy way more property, helps them to do way more with those properties, so monetize them in a far better way, frees them up to do the higher level value tasks. So my recommendation that for the first team member you should bring into your buy-to-let business or your property investment business is to actually bring on a personal assistant. Now, at one point, I employed 23 subcontractors, and today I have nowhere near as many subcontractors. I actually have way more team members. So I have currently 6 full-time team members and probably about 6 or 7 subcontractors. And some of those I use every week. Some of them I might only use once a quarter. So my team has shrunk quite considerably, but my full-time team, so when I had 23 subcontractors, I actually had no full-time team. It was just myself and my business partner. But now I've got a larger full-time team and a smaller subcontractor base. And it's far more efficient to have full-time people. So if you're using a virtual assistant, if you're using virtual assistants, perhaps you've got some subcontractors, and we're really good at using subcontractors in our property businesses. Often you'll have a letting agent, often you'll use estate agents, you might have workmen, you might have conveyancers, etc., etc. You'll have an accountant, you'll have an architect, but none of these people are 100% focused on your business, and that's what you need. And so my recommendation is that your first hire is a personal assistant. So someone who's going to do the low value, low enjoyment tasks. And let me just talk about that for a moment. What you want to do is you want to list every single task in your business. So every task that you do, and you want to put them into 4 different quadrants. Low enjoyment or high enjoyment, low complexity or high complexity. And what you can do is you can actually then create a graph of the lowest enjoyment and simplest tasks. And those are the ones you want to outsource to your PA first. And then you want to look at the other quadrants. So the low enjoyment, harder to learn tasks, or the highly enjoyable tasks that are simple to do. Those are the ones you want to outsource next. And finally, you want to outsource the most complex and the most enjoyable tasks. Those are the last ones. Those are the ones that you want to hang on to as long as possible, and certainly until you've got more and more team members. Once you've got that, once you've got someone doing all your, we talk about £10 an hour, £100 an hour and £1,000 an hour tasks. It's those £10 an hour tasks that you want to give to someone else. All your letter writing, so every single telephone conversation you have with a vendor or a prospective vendor, you want that to be followed up with a letter. Those letters can be sent out by your PA. All of your marketing can be arranged by your PA. Your leafleting, your letters, so your prospecting letters, your right move searches. All of the communication, day-to-day communication, can be sorted by a PA. They can liaise with newspapers, they can liaise with post offices to put your adverts in, they can actually do all the key cutting, they can arrange for materials to be delivered to site. You pick the materials, you decide on the schedule of works, but they liaise with your workmen. They can even do the payments to your workmen, they can do all the backs payments. And what that does is it frees you up to have more conversations with vendors. That's a complex task. That's a hard thing to teach your PA. I have done it. I've had full-time salespeople that have built my portfolio for me. I've actually had properties that have been purchased without me ever seeing them. Below market value, no money down deals that have been done entirely by my team. And what that means is I can actually be on holiday and my portfolio is growing. And that's a great situation to get to. That's a great way to get your business flying for you, so that you don't need to be in it every day to make it work. You don't need to be in it for it to grow. And so my encouragement to you is to take a step back from your business and look at it. If you currently don't employ anyone full-time, imagine what having an intelligent, motivated, positive person in your office, and office can be a very loose term, it can be working from home and you meet twice a week in a coffee shop. You don't need big overheads to have an employee. Having someone that's 100% focused on your business. I've had PAs that have been paid £16,000 a year. I've also had PAs where I've paid £30,000 a year. But that is not a big expense on a monthly basis. That's £1,800 cost to me, £2,000, £2,500, depending on the caliber and what you want them to do. Just think to yourself, if they help you do one more deal in the year and you flip that deal, you've paid for their salary. It is not difficult to make a salary in your business, but the value you get from that person can be massive. It can be 5 times, 10 times what you actually pay them in a salary. And it makes it real. The clients that I've had that have actually employed staff, suddenly there's an importance to your business. Suddenly someone else is relying on you in order to pay their mortgage. Now you've got to do some marketing. Now you've got to get the deals in. Now you've got to hit X amount a month in passive income or in profit. And boy, is that a motivator for you. So I'd thoroughly encourage you to have an analytical look at what you actually spend each month on outsourcing already. What do you pay on solicitors' fees? What do you pay on accountants' fees? What do you pay on bookkeeping? What do you pay on marketing? What do you pay on yada, 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 yada? What are your expenses in your business? And then look at them and look at what your outcomes are. Because at the moment, you're doing 100% of the work in your business, or you've got 1 member of staff or 2 members of staff. Take a hard, cold look at what you could be achieving if you had an extra person in. And my recommendation is that that first person is a PA. I'll do another episode about what your second hire should be. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, click subscribe, click like, click the notification bell, and you'll get way more of our great quality content. See you then.